What's up, Brodies, and welcome back to the road trip. It's me, Tommy Russell Jr., and you have tapped into the Artists You Should Know for Coachella 2023 series. And in this video specifically, we are focusing on my Sunday. I'm interested, okay? We have tapped into the I'm interested list, y'all, and also this is the last episode of the series. I can't believe it, okay? It feels like just yesterday I was making that reaction video to the lineup, and now we're a week away from weekend 1, 2 weeks away from weekend 2. Like, yeah, we about to be in the desert turned up in a couple weeks, okay? I'm so excited, y'all. If you have not picked out your artist yet, go ahead and go to my channel if you haven't already and check out my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday must-sees and I'm interested. I've done the work so you don't have to, okay? All the deep dive is there. All you got to do is sit back, listen, and enjoy your time and see if there's some artists that stand out to you. And I'm sure you will find some artists that you're interested in or that get you going, okay? And make you be like, yeah, I gotta go see them out in the desert. Absolutely. So go ahead and do yourself a favor. Go to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Like this video if you're liking what you hear so far. So y'all, without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into my I'm interested for Sunday. Starting us off at number 1, y'all, we got Camelphat. Camelphat is giving very much close my eyes and jam out and get lost in the sauce, okay? Get lost in the sauce. That's what Camelphat is giving me, all right? They have songs that I'm really feeling. One of which is with Anima. It's called The Sign, and you know how much I love Anima. Tell of Us, yeah. So if you already connected, you already know, like, Camelphat's probably giving it, and they're gonna be in the Yuma tent. Oh, yeah. After they've released the lineup for the Yuma tent, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in there a lot. I'm gonna try to be at least, because we know that line is crazy. All right. They also have 2 songs with Elderbrook. One's called Cola and one's called Dance with My Ghost. Elderbrook is gonna be performing on Saturday. I've heard some good things. They didn't catch my ear, obviously, because I didn't have them in any of my lists. But I've heard a new album came out and it's really good. And the fact that they're working with Camelphat gives me a little more momentum to be like, okay, maybe I gotta go re-listen. And maybe if I got some time, I might have to stop in to see Elderbrook. I'd also say some sets that I would recommend is their Creamfield set in 2022 or their Ultra Miami Resistance set this year. They have this one song that just keeps repeating the word generator, and I'm telling you, yeah. That set, I was like, oh, I like them. I like them a lot. And they actually were duking it out for a spot in my must-sees. That number 8 spot that I split between IDK and El Michelle's Affair, yeah, they were in that too. But I was like, you're pushing it, Tommy. So I went ahead and made them number 1 in my I'm interested. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with Camelphat. Give them a listen, check them out, and see if they pique your interest enough to go stop by and see them. All right, y'all, at number 2, we got Dominic Fike. And Dominic Fike, I was not feeling Dominic Fike for the longest, and then I realized it was just misdirected anger, okay? It was just misdirected anger. Dominic Fike plays Elliot in the hit show Euphoria. If you haven't checked Euphoria out and you are mature enough to handle the content, I say go ahead and check it out. But his character's name is Elliot, and at first I had auditioned for Elliot, much like a lot of people in the nation, okay? Because at the time HBO had put out a nationwide casting call, and they made it seem like they were looking for everyday people like you and I, or up and coming talent, okay? Well, once they decided to tell us who they picked, we all found out that it was Dominic Fike. And from what I had heard through talks was that Dominic Fike was already a musician and he was already well known. And so it just came off as like, oh, so why'd y'all have us audition if you knew you wanted to pick somebody with a name? Now, don't get me wrong, he did an amazing job, okay? An incredible job on the show. His acting was stellar, okay? So let's not get that twisted. However, it just felt like, I don't know. Don't tell us you want an everyday person, an up and coming artist. But like, if you meant up and coming that's already in the industry, you should just said that. But anyway, so at the end of the season, there comes a point where Elliot sings a song to Rue, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Now we're promoting his music. Like, this is what it's all been about. So I was just being salty, right? But about 2-3 days ago, I went ahead and did that deep dive on him, and I really like his music. His music's really good. It's like really good, okay? His latest project is called What Could Possibly Go Wrong, and that album slaps. No skips. Chicken Tenders, love that song. Really great song. Great music video, too. The whole album, like I say, no skips at all. And he's also an incredible musician, okay? I mean, a true musician, okay? My favorite set of his is his Vivo Discover Live performance that he did in his song King of Everything. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's literally doing it all right there for you. Such an artist, a real artist. And I heard, weird take, but I heard somebody like on Reddit, they were like, Khalid is the Frank Ocean of our generation. And I'm like, that's who y'all want as y'all's I don't see it, but okay, you know. But after I did my dive on Dominic Fike, I really would say like Dominic Fike is probably the Frank Ocean of this generation. I think he's really on the wave of something new, something fresh, something exciting, and I would say go check out his set if you get the opportunity. Absolutely. Next up, y'all, we have Christine and the Queens. And Christine and the Queens, I wanted to see them back in 2019, but they ended up dropping out for some reason. Well, at least I didn't understand why at the time. I was like, oh man, so I didn't get to see them. Well, doing my deep dive, I found out that the lead singer's mother had passed away in between weekend one and weekend two. And my heart goes out to her because that's something to be like on an incredible high at like one of the biggest stages in the world, and then to get that type of news had to be like a lot for her. So, you know, my heart goes out to her. Absolutely. I will say though, my favorite album of hers is Chris. That album is something vicious. Oh, I love that album. It's like pure 80s in an album. Like, and it's 20, it was, when did that come out? Probably like 2018, 2019. Oh, what an incredible album. I mean, I truly love it. Okay. She's very androgynous with her style. At one point I didn't know if maybe she was like trans or something of such. But I don't believe so. Based on interviews and stuff, she goes by she. I believe she is a cis woman. So yeah, but still great performer, great, very intelligent woman as well. She's very intelligent. And I mean, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are intelligent, but I don't know, something about her just comes off as very poised, but also like curious, while also being extremely intelligent. I mean, I don't know, something about her. I love her. I love what she's got cooking. I can't say that I'm necessarily a fan of her latest album, I'll be honest with you, but Chris does something to me that I would definitely go to her set just to see a couple songs from Chris, because I'm more than sure she's going to perform it. Absolutely. And the fun thing about that album, Chris, is that the first half is in English, the second half is in French because she is French. I would say some songs off of that I love. Girlfriend off the top, that one's a great song. Damn, What Must a Woman Do? That's a great one. Like, Chris is a flawless album to me. So I'm just saying, check it out. If you want to see some live sets, check out her BBC performance. I believe she also performs at Glastonbury, if I'm not mistaken. That was a great performance as well. She's just really cool. I just love what she does, and it seems like she's playing around just on the stage and having fun, having a great time. So I just say check out Christine and the Queens, and if it's something that's up your alley, go ahead and check them out. All right, y'all. At number 4, we got Rae Sremmurd. And Rae Sremmurd, that's the nostalgia group for me, period, point blank, okay? Rae Sremmurd used to turn me up every time, okay? Hit after hit after hit. How you got No Flex Zone, Come Get Her, Throw Some Mo, No Type, Black Beatles, like, come on. How do you go up against a repertoire like that, okay? Like, that was it. Rae Sremmurd is gonna give it, okay? I could see maybe a guest appearance from Nicki Minaj for No Flex Zone. Pusha T, like, you know, I'm not a fan of Pusha T, but I'm just saying, you know, they could bring out some fun people. But other than that, like, I'm telling you right now, the music is gonna be turned up. Now, I can't say that I'm really a fan of their new stuff. I haven't even listened to anything new, if I'm being honest with you. But it's just nostalgia for me because that was all my early 20s right there. And I was getting my life to that. So I'm telling you, if you just want a nice nostalgia group, if you just want to have fun and have some sing along songs and turn up with your people, go see Rae Sremmurd and have a good time, because I know I definitely will if I get the opportunity to. All right, y'all. At number 5, we got Weyes Blood. Weyes Blood, she is giving me Lana Del Rey, but like, I like her. And no shade to Lana Del Rey, but I've never been into her. But I love Weyes Blood's voice. Like, it's just a little stronger to me and just more ethereal, and like, it just cuts to the core. I don't know. Something about those vocals to me are just like angelic. It's just amazing. Weyes Blood, oh yeah, absolutely. You gotta go check her out, okay? And I think another thing about her is her production is also just as great. Like, it's just such amazing songs. The song Every Day, probably gonna be the most upbeat song that I've found of hers, but still a great song. And the music video is really fun as well. Then you have Andromeda, that's an amazing song. Also, check out her performance of God Turned Me Into a Flower on the late night show. Oh, that's what really got me, okay? That performance of that's the performance that made me be like, oh, okay, we gotta really do a deep dive. Her voice is just, it's something else. I'm really loving what she's doing. I would love to just hear her voice live and see her do her thing live. She definitely has the ability to. She's definitely going to give you a hot mic, and those vocals are going to be pristine. So I would definitely say go ahead and check her out if you have the opportunity to, because you will not be disappointed. All right, y'all. At number 6, we got Fousheé. And Fousheé, I went on a journey with this because I just kept getting hit left and right with blows of surprise and excitement with this girl, okay? Fousheé is giving me something that I'm really loving, okay? The first song I heard from her was with Lil Uzi, and it was Spend the Money. And I was like, okay, I like to spend the money. I liked it. But then I kind of went to her latest album, I believe, and I wasn't necessarily a fan of maybe the first song. I think something just, I don't know what didn't connect, but it didn't. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna put her on the list just so I can see, and like we'll do a little more diving in. I did my dive the other day, and I first started with her Tiny Desk. And the Tiny Desk, she did an acoustic version of Spend the Money, and I was like, oh, her voice is quite nice. I'm liking this acoustic thing. Okay, maybe this isn't what I thought it was. But then we get into the next song, which was I'm Fine. And she's singing all sweet. And I'm just like, ooh, I love this. And then she goes, I'm fine. Mm. I said, oh, this is just crazy. She's crazy. Fousheé is crazy, and I love it. I love it. Oh, that had me. That had me. When she was singing, I'm telling you, you gotta see it. She was just all sweet and just, singing the song, and then I'm fine. I said, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then she has a song called Single as Fuck, which is giving like a neo soul. I mean, I don't even know what to categorize the girl as. She's giving folk, rock, screamo, R&B, neo soul, like sometimes all in the same song. Like, I really like it. I really, really love what she's got going on. And I'll be honest with you, she's giving me a little bit of Doja when it comes to just like carefree, doing her thing, having fun, being unapologetically her. Not because she's also light skinned, right? And weird and quirky, right? But like truly because of just her aesthetic as far as her music and just being free about it and just not giving a fuck. Like I really, really, really fuck with her. I really like what she's got going on. I also didn't know that she was the voice behind I don't really good deep in that, but I know the house version of it. Okay, so I had no idea that that was her. So I low key been on her. I already been on the girl. Y'all are just the ones that are late, right? But no, I was like, oh, cool. She also has a song called Candy Grapes. That song is amazing as well. Like, yeah, Fousheé, I'm highly interested in her. She's definitely up there, kind of with Camelphat, where I'm like, we're going to figure out how we're going to make this work around Frank, okay? I'm hoping that y'all are going to be earlier on in the day so I can sneak over, see what I got to see, and I can just run over to Frank and stay there the rest of the day. But yeah, Fousheé, she's doing her thing. Definitely check out her music. See if you're loving what she's doing, because if you are, absolutely go over there and see what she's got going on. Tell me about it if I can't make it, because I think she's going to give something really dope, and it's a shame if I miss it. I'm going to be real hurt. At number 7, we got Noname. And Noname, I've heard of Noname for a while, but I never really did a dive into her like that. I liked her music, but it was definitely giving me like Rhapsody, Tierra Whack kind of vibe, which is not bad at all. Absolutely not, because she's a spitter. Okay, she's spitting better than a lot of folks out here. But I just say that style of rap is not necessarily my favorite. It doesn't really catch my ear too much. And again, not to discredit it at all, because she's spitting some real stuff, and her flow is sick. And something funny about her is when I did do my deep dive to see who she was and what she was about, right? And she reminds me of like the homegirl in college who's really smart and is gonna always make sure she got her work done, but she also be coming out, okay? She also be going out, she be hanging out with the crew, but she gets her shit done. She does what she needs to do. And like her party trick is that she can rap like a motherfucker. She can spit. That's her party trick. Her party trick is she can spit. And you sitting back like, yeah, I know. I know you wouldn't think, would you? No, I know. That's what's really cool about her. Like, I would have never guessed. Like, when I had listened to her music, I had never seen her face before. So I just envisioned, I don't know, somebody else. But she just seems so like cool and chill and quirky. I just would have never pictured her being the one that's spitting like this. And I mean, she is a spitter. She has two albums that I'm aware of. Her first one being Telephone in 2016 and then Room 25 in 2018. I think that they're cool albums. Funny enough, my favorite songs by her are not on her albums. They're actually called songs, like Song 31, Song 32, and Song 33. All three of those songs are really fire. Like those songs, I'm like, ooh, something about those that I'm like, okay, I kind of like this. Like that style, whatever it is, there's just something about it that just is like, okay, this is it. Now that of her, oh yeah, I would tap into that for sure. I love that of her. I say check her out because she's a spitter at the end of the day, but then she's also just a really cool person. So give Noname a try if you got some time. Next up, we got Paris, Texas. And Paris, Texas, I mean, really, I don't know too much about them personally, but I can tell you right now, when I first heard their music, I was like, not really feeling it. Okay, I didn't really feel what I was hearing. And then I tapped in the other day and they had released a new song called Panic. And Panic hadn't came out when I first dabbled into their stuff, okay? And I saw the video as well. And I mean, boy, yeah, that song, I like that. So then I got into Force of Habit, Better Days, and I was like, okay, I think I'm liking what I'm hearing. But then I got into Girls Like Drugs. Yeah, I got into Girls Like Drugs. And Girls Like Drugs, Girls Like Drugs, yeah, I like Girls Like Drugs. Now, their music is very all over the place, okay? But I feel like Girls Like Drugs, like that's the lane. If they were going down that lane a little more, I could definitely be tapped in. So I've been able to find two projects of theirs. One is called Red Hand Akimbo. That's an EP. And then they have an album called Boys Anonymous. Both of those, like I say, are cool, but those individual songs that I liked, yeah, those are up. So I say if you like what you're hearing, especially those songs, I would say maybe go take a peek. I'm not necessarily saying that I would stay for the whole thing, but if I could somehow just walk over at Girls Like Drugs, oh yeah, I would get my whole life and I'd be like, yeah, I had a great time over there. I had a great time over there. So I'm just saying, if you like what they got going on, go ahead and go check them out. At number 9, we got Los Bitchos. And Los Bitchos was very interesting. I was a little like, I didn't know for sure. You know, I was like scratching my head. Like, I don't know how to feel about these women, only because I truly thought that they were just a group of regular white women, okay? And their sound was like very like Latino influence, but I really liked the music. I really loved the sound because it just sounded like an amalgamation of like cultures. And so I just was like, I don't know. I felt bad because I was like, is this cultural appropriation? But when I did my deep dive and I heard an interview from the women, they were talking about their cultural heritage. And I was like, wow, they're a melting pot. They all just happen to be very fair skinned. Now, some of them are white women. However, like one is from Uruguay, one is Turkish and Australian, one is from the UK, one is Swedish, okay? And then when they were asked to describe their sound, they said it was dance, instrumental, cumbia, surf, Greek, Turkish. And I was like, okay, I knew I was hearing some things. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it, okay? And then it all made sense. So I realized like it's not cultural appropriation and I can feel very confident listening to their music and blasting it and being like, yeah, Los Bichos. I love what they got going on. It seems like a fun group. And also in the interview, they were asked what songs they would recommend for first-time listeners. And the 3 songs that they recommended were Las Panteras, Priestas, Fresh Start, and The Link is About to Die. All 3 great songs. The videos are really dope as well. And I'd say check out their album. It's called Let the Festivities Begin. But Los Bichos, I'm really liking what they got going on. It's a very like, yeah, it's very just chill and very much lay out in the grass, like I say, and just get your life and just listen and have a good time and take it all in. So check out Los Bichos. If you like their sound, absolutely go ahead and check them out. And finally at number 10, y'all, we have Conexión Divina. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. They speak mainly Spanish, so it's really hard for me to like understand when they're saying their name because they say it so quick. But an amazing group. I don't really know what style of music it is, per se within the culture, but I like it. Something about it. I don't know if maybe it's just that they're like younger women doing their thing, but it sounds like such old music, I guess. And it seems like it has such a story behind it, if I could understand what they were saying. But it's like it's coming out of these three younger women. And I love that, yo. And the funny thing about their band is like they all met on the internet. So the first group member, she started off in Texas. She found her group member in Arizona and ended up moving out to Arizona. And that's when they finally met in person for the first time. Then they start working together in Arizona and they find their third group member out in LA. So then those two left Arizona, moved to LA, and that's how the band was really formed. And like I think it's so cool because they work so well together. Like you would think they've been best friends for years because their music just sounds so like it's incredible. I don't know. That's all I can say is that it's incredible. Two songs that I would recommend are Se Rumora and Mi Soledad. Those are songs I really like. The videos are really dope. And again, like I say, like I don't know really what's being said, but I just like the vibe of it. It sounds great. And like if they sound great to y'all, I absolutely say go ahead and check them out. All right, roadies, that's it for the artists you should know for Coachella 2023 series. I hope it's been a help for y'all. It has been very informative for me. And if you got something out of it, please be sure to like this video. Please be sure to go to the other videos and like them. Subscribe to the channel. We've got so much content coming up soon, and I promise you, you do not want to miss out on the vlog for Coachella this year because it is going to be a time. Absolutely, y'all. So I hope to catch you on the road trip, y'all, and I'll see you soon. Later.